What's up? In this video, I am going to tell you the most exciting update, at least I think so, that's going on at the channel right now. I'm going to share a bit of a recap of the last month, some of the top games I've played, games that have come in, a little bit about Gen Con. I've got a funny story that also led to kind of some inspiring advice for me, and I'm going to do this all while taking you on a beautiful nature walk. I love board games, but they do keep you inside a lot, and I live in a beautiful part of the world with all this cool nature, and if you listen closely, you can hear a nice mix of nature sounds and construction because that's Vancouver, construction and nature. Anyways, let's get into it. I know a lot of YouTubers would leave the big exciting announcement for the end of the video, but I'm just too excited. I'm going to talk to you about it right now. I know it's bad for the algorithm. You might stop watching after this. That's okay. I don't mind. I've been talking about this for the last couple of months. I've been thinking about launching a Patreon, and I have set a date. August 20th is the date for the Patreon launch, and I'm excited for a handful of reasons. Going into like the idea of launching a Patreon, obviously there's like a utilitarian side that's, you know, helpful for the channel, financially supports the work. You know, I don't know if you know this, but running a board game YouTube channel does not make much, and going to conventions and equipment and all of that is pretty expensive. So there's that side of it, but mostly as I've been thinking about it, what I'm really excited about is just the opportunity to build some community and have more interaction from my audience and have people have input into the channel and be more engaged. I've been so encouraged over the last while having people reach out and actually ask, hey, are you launching a Patreon, a Discord? As I've been building the Discord, one of the biggest questions I've been asking myself is like, how can I make this actually of value to the participants? Like, how can I make this a place? The motto of the channel is there's always room at the table for you. To me, board games are a community builder. They foster relationships, and that's so important. That's the most important thing to me. And so how can I make this be a place where people actually feel connected to the mission of how I roll, that people have opportunities to connect with others? I'm creating a thread on it where other content creators, designers, or publishers that are part of it can promote their own stuff so that other people can be uplifted. And yeah, I'm just getting really excited about it. There's going to be more coming about that August 20th. Also, something that's really cool with it is I've reached out to some publisher friends and said, hey, I'd love to kick this off in a really fun way. Would you be willing to do a giveaway? And, you know, some publishers are, well, lots of publishers I'm finding are just so generous and so cool. I love the board game space. I spent 9 years touring full-time in a rock and roll band, and I loved it. Obviously, it was a really fun job, but the music industry is like pretty cutthroat. Man, I realize there are like bad actors everywhere, but the board game community, the board game industry so far for me has been such a cool experience. So anyways, I've got 4 cool publishers that are going to be donating some games for some giveaways. And so August 20th to August 31st, anybody that signs up for my Patreon, and there's no, you have to be part of it for this much time or whatever, you're going to be entered into the draw for some free game giveaways. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be announcing it all. I'm going to be giving a lot of info about what's going on with the Patreon, the Discord, all of that. And yeah, just some really cool stuff in store. So that's the most exciting thing. If you decide to stop watching now, that's okay. I forgive you and I still love you. I'll tell you a couple cool things. I just got back from Gen Con, so I should be doing like a big Gen Con recap. But the problem is I've gone to 3 conventions in the past month and a half, and I'm going to another one in like a week and a half. So what I'm going to be doing is at the end of the summer, just doing a big recap of all 4 of those conventions together. But I will tell you right now a funny story from Gen Con, and I'm also going to tell you at the end of this video kind of an update for Gen Con and what that looks like for a creator like me going to Gen Con, what I feel I got out of it, how I feel it impacted the channel, just some cool kind of business channel updates like that. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, stick around for that. At Gen Con, you know, there are, you know, almost 80,000 people. And as I go more and more, it's a community. And I have all these friends who are publishers and designers and content creators and people who aren't in the industry that I get to meet at these things too. And it's interesting when you're at a convention that big, because there's some people that you end up running into like over and over. You just keep seeing them. But then there's some people where you like hardly see them. Now, over the last couple of years, Rodney Smith from Watch It Played, who's a total legend. I've been so lucky to have the opportunity to connect with him, and he's been a real encouragement to me and just so kind and welcoming, and also been willing to give me some advice when I need it. And I bumped into him. I was doing some demoing with Thunderworks, and then right after that I saw him. I bumped into him and was like, hey man, how you doing? And so here's like the funny story, but also the like kind of inspiring story all packed into one. he was at the Good Games booth, which I haven't done work with him, but then I had a great connection with him after this. And I don't know who he was talking to there, but there was an industry person there that he's talking to, and I was just kind of waiting to chat, kind of like when it's conversation going between two people, like, this is my conversation. So anyways, talking, and the guy, again, I don't know who it is, industry guy, really nice, it seems like. And he said to Rodney, he's like, hey, Rodney, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate the work you do. And he said, I just love, one of the things I love is that you keep it professional. You always wear like a nice button down shirt in your videos and just keep it really professional. The guy would have no idea who I am. And I'm standing there and I'm just like, I usually wear like some 90s punk band t-shirt in my videos. And I was like, this is a really funny comment to say right from me. Didn't take offense to that, obviously. I try not to take offense to anything if I can. Not always perfect at that. But anyways, I thought it was hilarious. Anyways, Rodney and I ended up chatting for a bit. And one thing that I've been trying to figure out is really landing on like a channel identity. When you're a new channel, I'm only 8 months into this thing. You're a new channel, you're trying to figure it out, you're trying to make it happen, and opportunities that come in, you just want to say yes, yes, yes. And there have been a few opportunities that have come in that I've said yes to that I'm like, I'm not totally sure if that's the best fit or if I want to be doing that. And so I've been thinking about that. Already. And as a result, there have been a couple things recently that I've passed on or kind of decided no. And it's tough, again, because like as a smaller, newer channel, it's like, am I crazy? Like I should be. But I chatted with Rodney about that, and he was kind of talking to me about how, sometimes people feel the pressure, whether it's financially or, trying to grow the channel or whatever it is, some kind of pressure, and they end up compromising. They end up, whether it's types of games they don't want to cover or, other things. I don't want to like throw out a bunch of details because I don't want it to become like, but for whatever reason, you're like, just this isn't a fit, and you start compromising. It becomes easy to do that. And it was actually really affirming for me as I've lately been trying to make some tough calls around that and say, you know what, I don't actually think that's the identity of my channel. I don't think that's a solid fit or, that kind of idea. And it was really cool. And it's great to get advice like that from someone who's been doing it for like a decade and a half or however long he's been doing it. And just hear how rewarding it's been for him to kind of stick to his guns with it. So anyways, it was really cool. Gen Con was amazing. Incredible time. Normally, what I do is I go into the studio and show you the top games I've played this month on my shelves, but it's just so beautiful out. I'm going to kind of teleport into the studio in just a moment to show you the games that have come in. But I thought I would just continue with this beautiful nature walk and tell you about the top games I've played this month, and partially because I don't actually own a few of these games, so might as well just do it out here, and I'll just throw some images on the screen. By far, one of the coolest things that happened is, so in June, I went to RageCon in Reno, Nevada. My friend Johnny Pack, who's the designer of Unconscious Mind and a bunch of other cool games, invited me down to be kind of like a media guest as part of that. And so, but there were also some other guests. There was Grant Lyon, there was the Hunger Gamer, and there was also some designers. And Matt Leacock was one of the special guests. There weren't a lot of us, so it felt a little crazy because there's a pretty big gap between Matt Leacock, the designer of Pandemic, one of the best-selling games ever, and me, a guy who made a YouTube channel like 8 months ago. And so, but anyways, Matt, it wasn't that big of a convention, so Matt and I ended up hanging out, and we played. He has this cool dexterity flicking outer space game called Flickering Stars, which he taught me and another friend of mine. And then also at Gen Con, we played Lord of the Rings Fate of the Fellowship together. Playing games with the people who design them is really cool, especially when it's like an absolute legend like Matt Leacock. I'm trying to not like fanboy or whatever, but it's like, man, like this is someone who's like shaped the industry, and I'm pretty new in here, so that's pretty cool. I mentioned Grant Lyon, and one of the other games, I'm doing this all by memory. I often have kind of a script or whatever. He taught us one round, which was like a total blast. And so that's another game that I had a blast playing. And then two games I was going to mention that I do own, but I'm out for a walk, is I got Zombie Princess while I was at Origins. And it was really cool because my daughters, especially my older daughter Avra, loves Rebel Princess. And so she was so excited when I brought Zombie Princess Deluxe home. We played it. We loved it. I don't know, there's something cool about a company reviving an ancient game like Hearts or Spades and adding a cool twist, and in my opinion, making it better and richer and more replayable. And so I thought that was really cool. And then also, one of my favorite games of all time is Tapestry. And at RageCon, I was hosting a bunch of games. They got me to host different gameplays. And we played Tapestry. And sometimes when you don't play a big game for a little while and then you come back to it and you're like, oh, that's why I love that game. It was absolutely amazing. Anyways, that's a little bit about what I was playing. Now, let me hop over to the studio with you and show you what games came into the studio in July, and I'll meet you at the end with a few more last little updates. And just like that, we're in the studio. There are always a lot of games going on around here. This does not include my games from Gen Con because those are being shipped to me and I will get those sometimes mid-August, so I'll include that in my August update. But here's some games that came in July. I'd love to give you a look and show you about it. First of all, Doomlings reached out. I've actually never played Doomlings and I haven't quite yet either. I actually just read the rule book a day or two ago and want to play it with my daughters. But they sent me the base game along with lots of stuff. Legends of Enderas. Doomlings is obviously kind of the main game. Imaginary Ends and a mystery expansion. My daughter Abra opened this and was pretty excited when she opened it because there are lots of like cool foil holographic cards in this, but this one just came with a bunch of card packs in it. Then there are a bunch of these small expansions. Like I said, I'd never played Doomlings before. I kind of just thought it was like another Exploding Kittens or something like that, but I read the rulebook as I've been looking at it, I'm like, oh, there's actually a little bit more of a game going on there. So I'm excited to try this out. Probably once I play all this stuff, I'll be covering that on the channel and giving you guys a look at it as well. So that's the Doomlings stuff. My friend Brian over at Tangerine Games, you can see the logo down there, makes Soros and lots of other cool games. He sent me this is just a prototype that I think he 3D printed and made it. But if you've ever played that old school game, Racco, very old, cool game. I play it with my daughters. It's pretty fun. But this is that, but like the books of the Bible, putting them in order or whatever. So it's a funny little game, but play it with my daughters. We had a blast. Really cool idea that he made there. My new friends over at Weird Giraffe Games sent me Reef and Ruins. I've just recorded the talking part of a rapid review about this. I need to record the actual game part. But this is a really cool like roll and write where you've got 3 different sheets that are kind of interconnected. I'm just obsessed with like roll and write, draft and write, flip and write, whatever and write. Anyways, really cool. These are my first titles I've ever played by them, and this is Surplus of Sloths from my new friend Charlie McCarran, who made Ringyo and some other cool games. So some cool titles from Weird Giraffe Games. Thanks, Weird Giraffe. Okay, this one I have not played yet, but I'm pretty excited about it. The problem is it was supposed to come sooner, but it showed up the day before I left for Gen Con, like the afternoon of that. Actually, Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. and I made a video about Gen Con and he anticipated games, and this was high on his list there. It would have been on my list, except it was on my Origins list, which if I remember, I'll put a link up there. You can check it out. I love Codenames. I don't play it much these days because, I think we played it a lot. There are lots of other games, but it's a great game. So well done. I don't know that much about Critical Role as like an intellectual property, but this seems so cool. This turns Codenames into a cooperative exploration story mode campaign. I can't wait to dig into this. It looks like a really cool revamp to Codenames. Anyways, that's Codenames Critical Role Adventures. And yeah, anyways, I'm really jazzed about that. I have quite a few kind of smaller or newer designers and publishers reach out to me on Instagram or TikTok and they slide into my DMs. And this is one called Pazingo. I've been meaning to play this with my girls. I haven't had a chance yet. It's just been really busy with all the conventions going on. But inside are these really cool, like 3D printed chunky plastic tiles that go together and you're making words. I don't know all the rules yet or anything, obviously, but that one is one that I'm pretty pumped to give a shot. This is actually another newer designer, and one of the things publisher, one of the things I'm called Cyclin Studio. I should finish the thought. One of the things I'm so impressed by is nowadays there are a lot of new designers and publishers who are coming out and just making some productions that look really beautiful. They message me. I can't take on every game or whatever that someone messages me about. I get quite a few messages nowadays, but took a look when they messaged me. I was like, this looks awesome. It looks beautiful. The production looks amazing. Looks awesome. So I'm pretty excited to give this one a shot. Plan on playing it soon and probably doing something with it on the channel because it looks like a pretty cool fit for the channel. What do we got next? Thunderworks Games. They've made Stone Spine Architects, and this is the new expansion, Invasion. Thunderworks is awesome. I did some demoing with them at Gen Con for Fliptoons. They make some great games. If you haven't played Stone Spine, I don't know why I'm struggling with that. Stone Spine Architects. If you haven't played it, I recommend give it a shot. I haven't played the expansion yet, but pumped to give us a shot and see what it does and changes in the game. This one is a pretty hefty one called Huddle. I'm not the biggest sports person in the world, but I think it's kind of cool when you bring kind of sports ideas, a bit of a different twist on it to games. This is a fantasy football game. So you're actually playing fantasy football in a board game, which feels pretty meta if you ask me. Like fantasy football, you're already not playing football, and then this is a board game about playing fantasy football. But anyways, I met the designer of this at Dice Tower West, and he said, hey, can I send you a copy? Unfortunately, lately, Canada has been brutal with import fees, and I don't know why, but some games just get hit hard. This one cost me $40 at the door to the post office person, but it's okay. It's pretty heavy. Although I'm not a huge sports guy, I am pretty stoked to give that one a go. My friends over at Outset sent me Viking Traders. This game is a really neat game. The setup is that you have these like different fjord, you know that word, fjord boards, it's hard to say, fjord boards, where you have these ships and you put them on, and wherever you place them, you get the stuff there, but you also, it kind of impacts your turn order for next time, but you can trade with the card there, and really it's a resource management, kind of economic game. Really cool. They sent it to me. They had me doing the Rip Up the Rules video, which I have filmed. I just haven't edited it yet, so it'll be up on the channel soon. So if you're interested in this one, keep an eye out for that. Okay, my second last kind of thing here is at Origins. I had made an Origins anticipated. Made a few videos about the Origins Board Game Geek preview list, and quite a few people came up and talked to me about it. It was very encouraging. But these two people came up and talked to me, and they own a company called Flying Pig Games, and they said your lists were great, but we noticed there weren't any war games on there. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And the truth is, Board Game Geek talks about some people being omni gamers. I mean, I definitely have games I really love and some types of games I don't love as much, but I would consider myself by and large to be a fair amount of an omni gamer, where I think there are good games and enjoyable games in lots of different categories. And I actually think I would enjoy wargaming a lot. I just haven't been around it as much. I've got so many other games I'm playing. Haven't taken that deep of a dive into it. So anyways, they said, well, we'd love to send you some stuff to try it out. I think they're trying to convert me, which makes sense. That's what we all do. Board gamers, we're trying to always convince people that they want to like the same games as us, or like games if they don't like games. But anyways, this is Flying Pig Games. And when they said they'd send me some stuff, they sent me like a bunch of stuff. There's even this down here. So La Resistance, I'm trying to say that as Frenchy as I can. This box is genuinely extremely heavy. This is the Rock of Chickamauga. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But this is a big, thick boy. That's a war game. You can see the map on the back. Ugh. This is like, it's like a good workout for me to, okay, that's how I'm gonna get, one day I'm gonna be like swole on the channel, and you guys will be like, Ryan, how'd you get those sick gains? I'll be like, I started playing war games. Anyways, along with that, they sent me, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff. They sent me all kinds of stuff. They sent me this pack of dice. They sent me some cards. The Rock of Chickamauga. This one I haven't actually gotten into yet, but they also then sent me a cool play mat for La Resistance. Anyways, by the way, I am struggling to know what to do with all my play mats, like the best storage solution. If you're out there and you're watching this and you've got some good play mat storage solution in your board game collection, please drop a comment or send me a message or email me or something, because I would love your advice. Anyways, that's Flying Pig Games, some of their cool titles. Check them out. You can go find their website online. Pretty cool. Okay, this big, thick boy is pretty exciting for me. I'm a huge, huge Mindclash games fan. They make so many good, they basically make like I said, I'm an omni gamer, but we all have some games that really, I was gonna say make us sing. I don't know if any games make me sing, but just, you know, hit like a real sweet spot for us. Mindclash is one of those companies where title after title, I'm just like, yes, this, more of this. So when I saw Revenant on the Board Game Geek preview list for Gen Con, Alex from Board Game Co. and we did our top 10 anticipated, and I put this on in, I think at like number 3 or something, quite high. I was very excited about it. They saw the video and they said, Ryan, we'd love to send you a deluxe version. I think it's called the Admiral Edition, I'm not sure. Anyways, they sent this over to me. This game is, like everything Mindclash makes, is just absolutely stunning and beautiful, and their games are amazing. I'm really excited to give it a shot. I actually watched a review of it on Board Game Co. from Alex, and yeah, it looks amazing. It's this outer space game where the game has some bad effects that are coming in. So it's not semi-co-op, but you kind of are all dealing with the same problem, but you're obviously trying to beat your opponents while not getting overtaken by all the bad stuff going on in space. Anyways, thank you to all the publishers who are generous in supporting the channel and wanting to work with me. Thank you for the games. I love playing games. I'd love to know in the comments which one of these games looks the most interesting to you, or if you've played one of them that you love, let me know in the comments below as well. Anyways, let's head back outside. All right, there are a lot of games coming in, and truthfully, it's getting to be a little bit overwhelming, but I'm very grateful for publishers and designers who are generous and believe in the channel and want me to try and experience these games, and I love getting to talk about them and play them. Obviously, not every game is a game I can make like a dedicated video about, but even just having the opportunity to take them to local gaming events, share them with friends, talk about them on different podcasts I'm on, all of that is a lot of fun. Let me tell you a couple last things. First of all, Gen Con. Like I said, I'm going to do a video about Gen Con, but more of like the channel side. Gen Con for me, I don't go there and play a whole bunch of games. I go there mostly to chat with publishers or their content creators or designers about things moving forward for the channel. I'm trying to, continue to build opportunities and create ways that I can do meaningful work with publishers. And so when I first started out, I would go to booths and I would be like, do you have any review copies? Do you have any review copies? If I'm honest now, when I go to a booth, sometimes they're like, do you want any games? Do you want some review copies? I'm usually like, well, I don't really need review copies right now. What I'd love to do is team up with you on an upcoming release and do like your how to play, aka rip up the rules or those types of things. So anyways, I had tons of meetings. The first day of Gen Con, I think I had 13 or 14 meetings and events. It was crazy. Got to meet a lot of really cool publishers. I have like this massive stack of business cards. Yeah, by the way, people who aren't in the board game industry, as a millennial, I thought I'm never going to get a business card made in my life. Like obviously, like, it's pretty old school. I'm a millennial. But when you're at a board game convention, there's so much going on. So I do have cool business cards. Mine are shaped like hexes, which I think is pretty cool. But anyways, I have this massive stack of business cards. It's so helpful because now I get back and I'm like, okay, I got to email this person, I got to email this person. And there's some publishers that, man, I just had some really great connections with, and I'm excited to see where that goes. I won't name them right now because who knows where that goes, but I'm excited about that. And yeah, I just continue to be grateful for publishers who, continue to give me a chance and trust me with their projects. While I'm watching this, while I'm filming this, I think a video that I just posted for Shem Phillips and Arcus Games just went live, and that's really cool. But yeah, anyways, lots of cool connections. I'm excited to see where that goes and what I can do on the channel. The other thing I want to say really quickly before I wrap this up is I was looking back, and 2 months ago I made this video and I was like, hey, we just hit 2,000 subscribers. And right now while I'm recording this, we're just on the verge of hitting 3,000 subscribers. Now, obviously there are board game channels out there with 80, 90, 100,000 subscribers, or, Rodney Smith and the Dice Tower have like 400 and something thousand subscribers. So obviously that's like 3,000 subscribers sounds small in comparison to that. But when I think about the fact that 2 months ago I was like, excited to be hitting 2,000, now we're about to be hitting like, now we're about to be hitting like 50% more than that, and the rate it's growing at. I just want to say thank you so much to all of you who are consistently showing up and watching, some of you who are sharing the channel with others and letting others know about it. This really is like a team sport. This is a community-based thing. Like, I can sit here and make videos, but if no one watches them, if no one's interested in them, if they're not helpful to you, then kind of whatever. But we're all in this together. When you watch, when you like, when you comment, it means the world to me. I love it when people hop on my Rip Up the Rules videos and ask a question I can answer and help you continue on with your game night. But yeah, thank you so much. It means a lot. I've been so encouraged and yeah, just overwhelmed with gratitude by the support and the response I've gotten. And I love getting to meet some of you at conventions or just chat online if you DM me or wherever it is. I'm really grateful for you. August 20th, Patreon's going to kick off. If you don't have the money, don't worry about it. Just give it a pass. But if you got a couple bucks here and there that you feel like you could support the channel with, and you want to be part of the community where you get to vote on videos I'll be making and have inputs on other things and all that kind of stuff, I sure would love to have you. There's always room at the table for you. So feel free to come join. Anyways, thanks for watching this monthly update.